Alright guys, so we are out here in the heat of it today. We're doing some content for the railroad company here in Mississippi. And so I'm going to do my best to vlog about that and just kind of show you what all goes into that. First thing we're going to do is set up the drone, set up our main camera. We're mostly doing B-roll shots for them to add to their website and to use for future content. And then a lot of photography as well as some of their locations, their rail cars and stuff like that. This is a good industry to get into though if you can find the contact in your local area. Anything industrial, it gets overlooked, but they also need video and photo content, so don't overlook it. So we're going to be doing a lot of drone shots today, but we're also just going to be filming just for the regular camera of some railroad workers, and for that we're going to use the Fujifilm X-H2S, compliments of Fujifilm. Of course they gave me the body and a couple other things, but everything else you see I have outrigged myself. So we're going to get some more stuff set up on that. We need to put a battery in the Ninja. We're going to put the ND filter in and do some other stuff, and then we're waiting for our contact to get here because she is going to escort us around basically all the locations of the rail yards because I just don't know where they are and they don't have addresses. So interesting gig, but let's do it. Alright guys, so far everything is going good. Been flying the drone. We have our drone coming back at the moment. The wind is killing our batteries today and we've got a long day ahead of us. So I've actually got the batteries inside of the Jeep cycling. So while I'm flying, there's 2 batteries charging. Hopefully that works. We do have some drive time in between sites. So I think between the drive time and the 3 batteries, we should be good, but I'll keep you updated. Guys, we just got some really cool footage of basically a piece of heavy machinery picking up some scrap metal from Mexico, putting it into an 18-wheeler. God knows where it goes. I know it's probably taken and melted down and used for something, but I will say this, I don't know how you guys feel out there. You might, be in the camp of, oh, I want to only do this kind of work, or I only want to make films or documentaries, and trust me, I love that kind of work. But there is something to be said about filming things that don't normally get filmed, like what we just saw. That's just not something that you see every day, and it happens, behind some trees by the railroad tracks that you just don't know about. So to me, it's kind of cool. Like, who else gets to film that kind of stuff? And that's why I do actually enjoy doing industrial type projects. But that being said, we are on our way to the next location. Not really sure what's going on there. This railroad company just wants lots and lots of footage of their guys working and to show what they do, because they've honestly in 200 years have never really had any documentation of it. So I feel honored to be doing that, and it'll live on things like their brand message video, which we've talked about on the channel before, and on their website banner video, and I'll be showing some of that stuff in the future. And also in the future, in a couple weeks, I will give you a project breakdown in terms of how I structured the deal for this. If you've watched this channel before, you know that I have kind of a process with my proposals and value stacking. And so I stacked a lot of value into this project, and it's ended up being about a month-long project, but trust me, it has been well worth it financially and for purpose, right? Because this means a lot to these people, and these are the people who drive America. So it's really cool to be able to do this, because these guys will probably never be filmed again doing their job, which is very important to our society. The railroad system has been around for 200 plus years, and their story deserves to be told too. So anyways, I'm gonna stop filming and drive to the next location. guys, last location here in Mississippi. The sun is still shining. Golly, it's bright out here. All right, we're gonna lower that into you a little bit. Yeah, so we got this last location of the day for the railroad company. We're gonna get the drone up and do some aerial shots, and then we'll talk a little bit about today's gig, and maybe it will help you. Just so you guys are tracking, the Pelican case makes an amazing launch pad. I know people buy those circular launch pads, and I used to have one of those, but I don't know what happened to it. And this is like a hard shell case. Now, it's not easy to land on, but for launching, it's good to go. Alright guys, today has been a very long and hot day. I did stop here in the shade under a live oak tree to give you this kind of last piece of dialogue about my thoughts and what I learned at the end of the day, or rather, not what I learned, stuff I already knew that I thought would bring you value, because I am here on this YouTube platform to bring you guys value and help you with your endeavors going forward. Because who knows, I might be a year ahead of you in your process, I might be 5 years ahead of you in your process. If it helps you, great. If it doesn't, skip to the next video. But the main thing I want to point out today is, if you live in a rural area like myself, of course, we can travel to New Orleans, we can travel to Atlanta, we can travel to Birmingham, even Las Vegas, you know, like I did 2 weeks ago, to do content for companies. But do not overlook your local areas. I don't care if you're in Illinois, if you're in Austin, Texas, if you're in some small town in Georgia, or if you're like me, I'm in a small town in Mississippi. There are some big industries, and I like to compare, I know this is kind of a funny analogy, but I like to compare video and photography and media and content, if you will, to toilet paper. Who or what industry can you think of that doesn't need toilet paper, right? Toilet paper must be the easiest thing to sell, because, I mean, your local restaurant needs it, your local tax office needs it, everybody needs toilet paper, right? So, you know, Costco or whoever's selling the toilet paper is going to be in business forever. And that's the same thing with content. You can be in business forever because everybody needs it. Now, some industries might need more of it than others, but everybody needs it. And so today I've been doing work, as you can see, for the railroad company here in Mississippi. But, you know, your local agricultural industry needs video and photo and web and graphic content. Believe me, they do, and they use it. Just go look up your local plant nursery or your local industrial company of any kind. Doesn't matter if they're making wood pellets or if they're making steel. You go to their website, you're gonna see pictures, you're gonna see videos. Somebody had to make it, and you know, chances are it may not be that great. So maybe you can step in and say, hey, saw that you have some video content on your website, saw that you probably made that, you know, in the early 2010s. Would you like to update that kind of thing? I do think it's a hidden gem here in the United States and probably abroad. You know, industries that are in the United States, we call it the blue collar industries. And the other thing that helps me is, I would like to do this anyway, because I like to film stuff that nobody else films and probably doesn't get filmed a lot. But there's a purpose behind this. You know, the guys I was filming today on the railroad, those are just regular guys, man, that I probably would have went to high school with. And they have families, they have children, and they're out there doing things that we don't appreciate that move our world forward. You know, without those guys on that railroad working on the tracks, there is no videography. You know, there is no power plant, there is no electricity, therefore there is no Netflix, therefore there is no entertainment. So take a moment sometimes to just think and thank those people who are making the world go round, you know, and we don't appreciate them enough. So I just feel honored and honestly humbled to be able to film those guys and work alongside those guys. And I told them today, you know, I shook every one of their hands and I said, look, I appreciate you, because without you, there is no video company. And I want you to know that what you do does not go unseen, at least by me and my family. The rest of the world probably doesn't see it as much, and I'm not trying to like ride up on a horse or anything. This is something I didn't think about until just a few years ago, but now that I see it, I see a great opportunity to not only dive into industries that need content, but also there's some meaning behind it, right? Like, I'm telling the story and I'm showcasing these blue collar workers who actually make America go forward and give us the privilege. And the same thing goes with military, right? The military and your blue collar workers, that's the backbone of America. We all just kind of stand on the backbone and, you know, live in a life of luxury, especially if you live in the United States. I mean, you're basically like the richest person on the planet if you live in the United States. Whether you're me or Donald Trump, you're probably in the top half of 0.5% of richest people in the world. And the reason that is because people, men and women, died for us. First of all, Jesus died for your sins, so there's that. But you know, people died for us to have this freedom, and then people are currently working in the hot 105-degree heat. I can give you a testament to that because I've seen it today, so that we can have power and we can have internet and we can have these amenities that we take for granted. So guys, look in your local area. Some of the industries you might want to look for are going to be things like railroad companies, agricultural companies. Type in your Google search industrial park. If you type in the words industrial park in Google or industrial park nearby, it's going to pull up the closest industrial park to you. Now that industrial park might have a steel mill, might have a manufacturing company, it might have a railroad, it might have any of those types of things, and just start looking at their websites. Does it look like they might need some help with their marketing and their content? If the answer is yes, get their number, call, ask for the marketing director, ask for a meeting, go out, buy them lunch, buy them coffee, etc., etc. Guys, you know how I feel. Get creative, not just with your craft, but how you go about selling your craft, because that is going to take you so far. Thank you so much, guys, for watching today's vlog. I'm sweating my butt off. I'm going to go home, get a shower, and start editing this for you. Without further ado, peace.